5:35 p.m. I'm calling the Monday, March 22nd already meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. Number one on our agenda is public input. Do we have anyone here with public input? Nope. Nobody's speaking up, so I'm going to assume that that's a no. Next thing then.
Pam,
sorry,
I've got a question. Yeah. If we couldn't get in on Zoom, could anyone else get in on Zoom? So if the public wanted to be there, could they even be there for the meeting?
They could be here the way that you are. And like I say, I don't know. I've never had any restrictions on any of these meetings. I'll have to look at it afterwards. But if they have accounts, they certainly can. Otherwise, they could call in.
Yeah, that's true. They could always do the call in.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like none of us board members are viewing anything on the screen, right?
Bridget can. Bridget will.
Okay.
And
right.
Heather.
Then Bridget, will you take care of that trash hauler regulation for us? That's great. Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Sure. I'm on it.
Do you want me to display that?
Yeah, not that any of us can see it.
I'll do it for Bridget and Heather.
Okay, all right. I think I emailed this to everyone too. Is that right? Did you guys get
Yes.
a spreadsheet from me? Okay, perfect. So what I did there was I took everything that we got on the trash hauler regs. So it was combination of the PowerPoint that Irene Congdon from Mass DEP did, and then their example of a regulation that would fulfill all the requirements. So I just made a big list of all of the things that I could, requirements that it seemed like I could pull out of various places, whether it was the PowerPoint or the example regulation. Put those all down in one column and then search through our reg to see if, and if so, where do we appear to address that issue. So what I ended up with was, it looks like I think we cover most of the things that they were looking for. But I would like to get kind of another set of eyes too, because, just kind of see if you think that those sections address those points adequately. Then I thought, even while you're doing that, so maybe that would be a task for next week. Now, I know, Heather, that you said that Irene and Laurie are joining us again on, let's see, I think the date you had,
The 12th.
in the last minute, yeah, was the 12th. But we scheduled the April meetings to the 5th and the 19th so that we could avoid the town meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll just do that.
So,
then.
yeah,
Okay.
if you could just let them know, and if they can come on the 5th, that would be great. And if they can't, there is the 19th.
Okay.
But 5th, I think, would be better, because I'm trying to, I'd kind of like to get this wrapped up if we can. Oh, Trish, are you on? Trish is not with us because she can't get in either. Oh my gosh.
Maybe somebody could call her and have her call in.
Yeah, I'll just send her a response to this text really quick. Use the call-in number. All right. Let's see if that works. I didn't realize we didn't have Trish here, so let's give that a moment. Boy, Cindy, you pulled a switcheroo on us here. Nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Pam. It's looking like it's a checkbox that I checked off inadvertently, but I can't really verify that yet.
Either that or they made some change.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's probably me.
I haven't heard anything back from her yet. I hope she's getting the text. Oh boy, I know. Dead air is always
Yeah, I was about to say, Pam, we're still live.
yeah, I know. Heather, could
Yes.
you just try giving her a call on her cell and make sure that she's got
I'm not at work, so I don't have anyone's contact information here at home. So
let me.
You want me to call her, Pam?
I'm emailing her too.
Yeah,
Pam.
yeah. Anybody, sure. Yeah.
I'll call her.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So, so what I thought that we could do with that spreadsheet is, Steve, if you take a look at it, and when Trish comes on, I'll ask her also to take a look at it and just see if you have a different take on any of those items than what I did. And then I thought we could send that to Laurie and Irene in advance of our next meeting so that they kind of see where we're coming from with, we think we've got, a lot of these items covered, but they can tell us, I suppose, if they're covered, adequately to satisfy the regulation. There's one other thing here that I'm just trying to get open on my computer. So does that sound like a reasonable plan to you, Steve, I guess, and Bridget? Yeah, you're certainly entitled to weigh in too. My biggest concern with anything we do with trash hauler is the enforcement and the verification and the inspections. So we really, I think, need some additional information from both Irene and Laurie on what do those have to consist of. Is there a minimum schedule that we're expected to adhere to? Do we have to supply the state with reports of our inspections, and if so, what information are they looking for? And hopefully it's not terribly burdensome, because I'm not, it's going to be a resource problem, especially while we're still, dealing with COVID restrictions at businesses and restaurants and whatnot. So.
Hey, Pam, I've got the same question I had last time. Is there a cost associated to the user for any of these proposed changes? And I don't have an answer for that.
I don't think there is to the actual user. I mean, we're not saying that, we already have in our regulation that, you know, they have to offer recycling. Now, I suppose if we change the requirements of the regulation, it's possible that some of the haulers might say, oh, well, you know, that's more of a burden on us, so we're going to have to increase our rates in Ayer to offset that. That's the unknown. But there's nothing that I can see that would, you know, constitute a direct cost impact to customers.
It's something I'd like to make certain before, you know, I'm kind of new into this whole process, but I don't want to take it for granted that if we're saying mandate, then a hauler isn't going to raise the rates as well. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't be comfortable until I know that.
well, and I'm not even really sure how we would get that information.
Couldn't we ask the haulers?
Well, we could ask them, but that would, you know, that's really just something that they would be then telling us verbally. I don't know if they said no, you know, and then decided to later. How could we enforce that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they would be able to give us an answer immediately either. Oh, I'm just getting another text here. Let's see what is going on. Okay, she says she can't access the number via email, doesn't know what it is, but hopefully if Heather calls her, she can give her the right info. Oh my God. Yeah, so I'm with you, Steve. I don't want to, I agree that, you know, there are things that we have to do because those are the Massachusetts regulations. It's the mass law on what you can and can't put in the trash. What I'm not sure of, though, is, as I said, what if we make changes, if that's something the trash haulers would see as enough of an additional burden that you know, they would feel like they needed to raise rates. Some of the new things would be all the ones in that spreadsheet that say no for. So right now, you know, no, we don't have any requirements for some of those things right now. So if we added them, that would indeed be a new thing.
So Pam, is Ayer not in compliance with the state regulations, or are we looking at changing the regulations for some reason? That's the part I don't understand. Are the current regulations
okay? I don't think that they are non-compliant. I think that a lot of it has to do with picking up that extra dividend from the state, that extra $1,700 for for complying with everything that's on the checklist. And I think one of the big things that we might be missing there is the enforcement and like inspection reports to show how often did we check things. But we do, to the best of my knowledge, already have in the regulation all of the things that are required per the state regulation. I believe, and we should verify this with Irene, I believe that it's just that if we go this little extra mile, we can pick up extra a little extra money coming into the town for recycling dividends. The only other thing here that I saw that made me a little uncomfortable was there was something that seemed to me to be implying that it's like it would be the responsibility of the resident to to come into compliance and to make sure they're in compliance rather than the hauler. And our regulations are only directed to haulers. We can't use that regulation as it's written now to make a resident do anything. And then it puts the responsibility on the hauler to do some kind of, however they do it, making sure that recycling goes with recycling and, solid waste goes with solid waste. And there's no, mercury or other heavy metal things that you're not supposed to be putting in the recycling. Okay, so that's kind of where that is. I think we've got most of it. If in order to prepare for this next meeting, I think you can use this spreadsheet as kind of a guideline to look at that section of our regulation. Do you think that covers it? And then, of course, if you find any other sections where you think it's also addressed, feel free to add those in. Okay. Bridget, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Did someone get a hold of Chris?
So I talked
Oh
to
my
her, and
God.
then I just sent her the email that I got from Cindy with the Zoom information before I.
Okay. All right. Great.
So I just resent her some stuff.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Then on that note, is that and we'll of course go back and just touch base on this before the meeting is over, assuming Chris manages to get in to see if she has any questions or comments about the trash haulers. But is that kind of you think adequate discussion of that before we move on in the agenda?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So COVID, how we doing, Bridget? What's going on?
Well, it comes and goes. I did meet with Tamara today for about a half an hour. And I think one of the biggest problems is the right now sporting events. Did you hear about the wrestling event in New Hampshire?
No.
There was
Wrestling?
a wrestling. Yeah, there was a wrestling, and I don't know if it was, but there's cases in some of our towns linked to that. And there's from cheerleading, football there's stuff happening with that right now. So the big concern is with the sports, if they continue, how's that going to impact the schools? But last week there were several outbreaks with daycares, which I think is to be expected with the kids, and they're little, so the mask wearing is more difficult for them. But that seems to be under control. But now that the spring sports have started, that has it's created a lot of major issues. And just for an example, one of the individuals that tested positive from the sporting events, his close contacts was a list over 30 people long. So when you're trying to call 30 people for one person, but that's how it's just an impossible nightmare. So that's just sort of the thing that we're dealing with right now, is trying to get this stuff under control.
that seems like a pretty close contact.
It was in New
Is
Hampshire.
Is that allowed in New Hampshire now under whatever phase they're in?
I don't know what they're doing, but I guess, yes. And so, but like I said, that's, stuff like that makes its way all over the place, and it's made its way into, our towns as well. And
Yeah.
it's just difficult because, like I said, when you're trying to do contact tracing, last year, if you were COVID positive, you had, 4 contacts. Now you have 30. And sometimes you can be on the phone with each one of those for over a half an hour. So it really, and because it impacts the schools, it makes things difficult. But that's what she's working on this week. But overall, the numbers are going down, which is good. But the number of contacts is increasing dramatically. So.
Yeah, and that makes sense if this is because of, group settings and group events and so forth, that you would be getting more contacts.
Right. And so that's, like I said, that's the hardest part, is trying to, navigate through some of this. And so, but
in
so
general, are the, is everybody that you've been seeing, as far as, restaurants and food establishments and whatnot, do they appear to be reasonably compliant?
I mean, yeah, they're doing, well. I think the problem is just, we still get mask complaints. It's just, there's more people out there now. So it's, it's keeping, there's more people out in the restaurants, and it's just reminding people to be socially distant, try to stay as, far away from other tables as possible. But the travel order trade just changed to an advisory. So I have to go through that again, but it's like every week something changes and it makes it impossible. So now we have weddings coming up, outdoor events and indoor events. They increase the numbers, the capacity for that. So.
Yeah, because we just today officially entered phase 4, right? Part 1 of phase 4.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're doing a great job trying to convince people. So
no, I mean,
course,
it's just,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I talked to someone last week, and it's because we're out in the restaurants, and I tend to talk obviously more to the people that work in the restaurants, the food service industry, and the number of the people that have gotten sick, and they tell their stories. It's sad, because I talked to one girl last week, and she must be in her mid-30s, and her husband got sick. And she was concerned because he had asthma, but she had no pre-existing conditions, was in great health. And she said she was so sick that she actually thought for 2 days that she was going to die. And that she basically, she said it felt like she was underwater, like just the pressure in her head. And that's very similar to what a lot of people say that tend to get it pretty bad, is that they feel like they're going to die. And she said the only relief that she got was going outside in the cold air. Now, she had it, several months ago, but it's just, when you hear those stories, it's just, and it affects everybody differently. It's just, it's bizarre. And that's what she had said too, with the general feeling from talking to Tamara, is that people describe it as being very odd. It's a very weird feeling, a very weird sickness. So, anyway, it's just dealing with all of that and trying to get people to understand that it affects everybody just a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I think we're heading in the right direction. The numbers,
seems like the state numbers are trending well.
They are. They go up and down. Like over the weekend, they were at like 2,300, I think, one day, but then they went back down, I think, like to 1,900. But it is definitely trending down. But it's just really reminding people that, until you're fully vaccinated, you really do have to be careful, because and I did ask Trish this too, because I was very curious. Not Trish, I'm sorry, Tamara. We've seen people, have you seen anybody yet that has had the vaccine that has tested positive? And she said, not yet. The only thing is she's seen people test positive after the first shot, like within 2 weeks of the first shot. There's been several of those.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, we're heading in the right direction. Air is not red anymore. So that's good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know. It seems kind of, I see people doing things that make me scratch my head and I go, wow, you're going to blow it in the bottom of the ninth here. It's like, you made it this far. Just keep up the compliance a little bit longer.
I mean, I think that is exactly what it is. It's just, I think most people feel it's just important. Like everyone wants this sense of normalcy. We all do. But I think the most important thing is obviously getting the schools back in and getting businesses open again. But you can't do that if people are outside of that doing other stuff and having the, gatherings and things like that and not doing it safely. So you just keep talking and hoping that people listen.
Yeah. I understand. All right, great. Any inspection reports or any other material from Neshoba that we should be looking at?
So I think I told you I did a housing inspection on East Main Street and I did another housing on Myrick Street, and neither one of them, so we send those out certified, and when the owner receives them, the certified comes back. Neither one of them has been sent back that it's been signed. We also send it regular mail. So those are two housings that are out pending that I'm now going to just have to try and either resend the certified or I don't know, send it out again in the regular mail. I did inspect, I'm losing my mind, the cottage, which was fine. Verona Pizza, which was fine. The Union Coffee just reopened, so I inspected them. They're fine. So those are the newer inspections that were just done this within the past couple of weeks.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Have you done, I'm sorry, that was the little pause there as my brain trying to rewind. Have you done the schools?
So I've done them, I did them in the fall, I think December maybe.
Okay.
Did I say the fall, November or December maybe? And then they'll be done. Kayleen and I are trying to get all the schools done by May. So we've already started, but Air's so close. I always feel like I never have a problem getting there because it's so close.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they'll be coming up again.
Yep.
Before the end of the year. Okay, great.
Yep.
Anything else we should be aware of going on at Neshoba or in town or in any of the businesses? Or
I'm trying to think. I know, like I said, Union just opened back up. They had been closed for a few months. I think that's the newest news.
All right, good. Sometimes relatively little news is good news.
Yes.
That works for me. Steve, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only other thing is I don't want to forget about the animal permits and make sure that everything's licensed and inspected. I know that has been, last year was difficult because of COVID, but I don't know how far along we are with that.
Okay.
Or is it too soon? I don't know, Heather. Am I early with the?
Yeah, so the new permits go out, they expire in May, so they go out in May.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, I
sorry.
thought we were a little early.
Okay.
Okay, so those will be coming around. Heather, did you get the stipend, animal inspector stipend?
So that's this pay period. So yeah, it'll go out this week.
Okay. All right,
There was an
great.
issue with Kevin being out, so he's back in, so I'll put it through for this warrant, so it should be all set.
Okay. All right, great. So just having it in the minutes that's all they need. They don't need
So
further.
Kevin was out after our last meeting for a while, so I wasn't able to get that process. So
All
I'll make sure I clear that. It should be fine. But if I need you to sign something, I'll just email you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that works. And then I know we have it down below, but appointment of animal inspector, you have the papers for that.
Yeah,
again,
I have
correct?
those in the office.
Okay. All right. Okay. So if that's it for Neshoba, our next item on tap is the review and approve minutes. Trish is still not with us, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
You are,
Okay,
you
no
are
Trish.
correct.
Okay. So should we wait then and review and approve these at the next meeting?
I think that's a good idea.
I kind of think so too. That would be my inclination. If you have no objections, but since you
Nope,
brought it up.
I'm
Okay.
totally in agreement.
All right. So let's put that one on the next agenda. The review and approval of the March 8th minutes. And also, if before you send out those draft minutes again, there's that date issue. So the
Okay, yeah, I'll
April
make sure I fix
12th.
that.
So yeah, if you could just figure out if they're coming on the 5th or the 19th, then
Yep.
we can get that correct in the minutes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, Pam, is the 19th Patriots Day?
Sure is.
Oh,
That's a state holiday.
it is. How come my little calendar here didn't tell me that?
Because
Probably
it's a
because
state
it's not
holiday,
issued
not
by
a
the
federal
state.
holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew there was a reason why we usually only have one meeting in April, and it wasn't just town meeting. So, all right, here's what we could do is instead of having a meeting on the 5th and then having to go like a month for the next one, we could do April as just one meeting, which I know is what we usually do, and make that one meeting on the 12th. What do you think, Steve?
I'm good with that.
Bridget, you okay with that? Everybody else okay with that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just sending Trish another phone number. Yeah, I'm sorry. What did you say the meeting was?
I was thinking of, because right now I have it on the 5th and the 19th, but Steve just pointed out that the 19th is Patriots Day. So
Okay.
I was thinking of just doing the one meeting in April and having that be the 12th.
Okay.
I'm good with that, Pam. I think that works fine.
All right, let's do it then. I don't know, Heather, whatever might need to be done from an administrative perspective, like changing it on the calendar or whatever, but if you could take care of that, and then I guess you can leave Irene and Laurie visiting us on the 12th.
Okay, I will make sure that I get a call to Carly and Cindy about having the meeting on the 12th.
Okay, all right. Well, that came full circle, didn't it? Okay. So for mail, do we have any other mail, first of all?
No, the only other thing that
That-
just be coming in is the insurance claims that just got put in the file.
Oh, yeah. Those just go into the file. Yeah. Okay. So then on that note, there is another document that I sent out to everyone today, and I only sent the one that is addressed to Senator Jamie Eldridge, but there are two identical ones that will go to the two reps that split us, Dan Cena and Sheila Harrington. So what that letter is all about, and Bridget, you can feel free to chime in here as necessary, but it has to do with the pension classification for the people from Neshoba. And so there is somebody that is working with many of the Massachusetts boards of health collecting these letters, and they're all going to be submitted to the State House together. But the idea is that because our health officials, really, they're as forward facing and as susceptible to illness and injury as many other workers that are in different classifications. This request is just asking the legislators to sign on to I guess it's a resolution at this point that's been filed that would reclassify them into group 2 for the public retirement system. And what is it now, Bridget? Is it group?
We're in group
3
1.
or 4?
We're in group 1, I think
Group
it is.
1, okay. So the differences have to do with, so far as I can tell, where I looked it up, how many years is that, Trish? No, apparently not. Okay.
It could be.
Yeah? Let's give it a second. Maybe it is. Okay. Well, if it is, she'll have to announce herself. So that's what this is, Steve. It's we were requested to write a letter of support. Most of the people that actually work in these positions are also writing essentially the same letter. So what I wanted to do is send these in, as I wrote here, on behalf of the Ayer Board of Health, do them on Board of Health letterhead. And I'm not sure what the drop dead date is to get these in, or if there is one. I don't know if you know, Bridget, but
So
if
just to give you a little background, Steve, we were contacted by a member of the Mass Health Officers Association, who's there's someone in that group spearheading this whole process. It's been done. They've tried to do this before unsuccessfully, but they're trying again now. So as far as a drop dead date, I have to go back and look and see if they gave a drop dead date for that. They just asked us to reach out to our individual boards and anyone else that we thought appropriate to get letters of support. And I'm not tooting our horn or anything, but I don't think on a whole, a lot of people realize what we actually do. And that sometimes is a problem. And I think that's, I could, after 23 years, I could tell you stories. I'm going to write a book, I decided, but it's not just to me. I mean, it's everybody. I mean, we've fallen in test holes. I've fallen down a flight of stairs that in a basement that had no lights, pick up bats with rabies, bury dead raccoons because no one else would help people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, so I think that through this pandemic, it just, has sort of shed light on a little bit more on what we do. And so that was the goal of it, to try and get support to get this through so that we don't have to
Yeah,
retire
and
at 70.
Well, the being in class 1 seemed to me, when I looked it up, like that is not really a good description, because that appears to be applying to like office workers, people that have strictly clerical positions, and you're not in these public facing jobs where you're putting yourself at risk. So I found it to be a reasonable thing to do. Any thoughts on that, Steve? Or if Trish did make it in, Trish?
I'm here.
Hey, Trish.
Hey. Yes.
So yeah, I was just going through the letter that I had sent out to you and Steve to review, and I sent the sample to Senator Eldridge, State Senator Eldridge, but there are identical letters that go to the 2 state reps that cover Ayer.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was well done, and I think it's the right thing to do after, listening to Bridget saying nobody realizes what Board of Health means, what they do, how much they're responsible for. So yeah, I think it was a well done letter.
Okay. Steve, any thoughts?
Nope, no issues on my end.
Okay, great. So then if everybody is okay with this, do we have to vote on this? Heather?
I would definitely say you guys should vote on it, just in case anything comes to it, that you can prove that it was in the minutes and voted on. As behalf of the board, and these 3 letters as for support to that.
Stop asking you, because you always tell me to vote on it. So.
Yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't hurt. Certain instances it doesn't, but when you're sending something on behalf of the board, which is part of the town, it's probably best to vote on it.
Okay, so I'll make the motion so that I can capture everything that's in here. So I move that we, as a board, send on Board of Health letterhead, on behalf of the board, a letter to our state senator and our 2 state reps, asking them to join an existing, I don't know if it's still, what is an HD? That's not a resolution. That's, I don't know what it is, but it's something that's already been brought up, I guess, at the state level. So we're asking those people to get on board with that and to support having our people that work at Neshoba reclassified in the public retirement system to Group 2 rather than where they are now in Group 1. And that's because they are front-facing people, dealing with health and other nasty issues.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. If you could put those together, Heather, on Board of Health letterhead, and ship that over to me, then I can sign them and get them to wherever they need to go next.
Okay.
All right, great. I think that's it for mail, unless we got anything else in. Is it anything else show up?
No, but you guys do need to make that motion to appoint Julie as the animal inspector. That does need to be. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because that's the other thing that I thought that you could put in the same envelope and get over to me. And
Yeah,
I
just need that motion for the minutes too.
Okay, so this is for the appointment of Julie Thomas as the animal inspector for Board of Health. She continues as animal control officer for police, but we have to reappoint her every year to the animal inspector position. So it's just a letter that we sign and send in. So once again on that one, I'll make the motion that we we complete the paperwork and submit it to appoint Julie Thomas as our animal inspector for this upcoming year.
I'll second that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. Just toss that in the package then. Heather and I will take care of it.
Will do.
All right. So the other, okay, so we figured out what our next meeting date is going to be here. I'll just back up very, very quickly to give Trish an overview of the spreadsheet that I sent out with the trash hauler.
Yes.
Regulations. I'm just trying to figure out, does our current reg comply with everything that they've asked for? So if you take a look at the regulation and, take a look at the list of items that I compiled from out of the materials that the ladies presented to us at the first meeting where they came before us, just feel free to add any, if you think there's another section that also addresses it. I mean, it can't hurt to get all our cross references in a row. And then I'm going to send that, or actually, Heather, since you have to talk to them to confirm the date, would you mind sending that along also?
Yeah, did you want to review it before I sent it, or am I just sending it straight the way this spreadsheet you sent out today?
Yeah, Steve and Trish, what do you think? Do you want a chance, do we want to set a date to give you a few days to look at this and add comments?
Well, I looked at it this afternoon and I didn't really think there was much to it, except when we end up having the discussion with Irene and Lori about certain aspects of the recycling and what the haulers were responsible for. But I don't know,
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think?
I'd like to take a look at it for a couple days.
Okay.
And if there's no reason to send it out tomorrow, maybe wait until next week.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, because they're not going to see us again until the 19th. So
All right.
just send me an email, Steve, once you have reviewed it, that either you have no changes or just send me your annotated version, and then I'll get that back to Heather
Sure.
to send out. Okay. Great. The other thing that we had put on hold, Trish, but now that you are here, is to review and approve them. I know we all had problems.
Really?
For right now, I'm blaming it on Cindy because I think she checked the wrong box and made this a login required meeting, but that's not confirmed yet.
But I still logged in with my Town of Ayer info and it still wouldn't let me in. So I was like, ugh, I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, it looks to me like you have to create a Zoom account, which is not that big a deal. I'm going to go ahead and do it.
But I have one. That's the one I've been using all along. Yeah.
I'm going to confirm that for you, Pam, but it's not a bad idea to have an account.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you had arrived, 10 minutes earlier, we could have shut it down and checked it and then restarted it. But
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry.
Well, I would have arrived on time if I'd been able to get into the meeting.
I know.
So,
comedy of
Well, that
errors.
was to be continued then.
Yes.
So,
Okay, so we're going to approve the minutes. Did we have a chance to, is that what you were going to say next, Pam?
yep, we were gonna postpone it until the next meeting, but if you have reviewed them and Steve, if you're ready to, approve or make edits, then we can take care of that right now too.
All right.
Chris or Steve, any comments or anything we need to iron
No.
out before we make a motion?
Nothing, me, Pam.
Okay. All right, somebody else make a motion for a change tonight.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the March 8th meeting for the Ayer Board of Health.
All right, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Okay.
great. We got that one out of the way too. And it doesn't even need that date change. So I will sign this and send it, I guess, to you, Trish. Then if you can sign and scan and
Yep.
send to Steve, then at least Heather gets back one, signature sheet with everybody's signatures on it,
Yes, makes sense.
if that works for everyone.
And
Okay,
I've got the other ones too. I just have to scan and sign. So
okay,
we'll be good.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of ones, Steve, you probably saw the email that Heather didn't have the signature sheets for, but they were all ones that we had voted to approve. So there's two there that happened after you joined the
Mhm.
board.
Yeah, I
So,
sent them, we dropped them off at the town hall, Pam. The old
Oh, you
way,
did?
with one signature, yeah.
Yeah, I got those.
Wow.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. Is it a problem for you, Heather, if you get, like 3 different pages with?
Yeah, it's
The
just this
signatures,
whole
or?
thing of trying to like track board members down to get signatures is making a real lag in getting minutes posted online. I have
Okay.
quite a few that are, because just with everything, it is what it is. It's what 2020 is and going in 2021.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and then if I have 3 different signature pages, then it makes the minutes 3 pages longer, which I don't mind so much, but I'm not the one scanning them and copying them. The clerk's offices, and then Cindy's posting them. So it's not a big deal for me, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it is for the other departments that are actually doing the work outside of what I'm just handing them.
No big deal for
Yeah,
me.
well, so they're running into the same.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe Pam, once you signed and then send to me, then I sign, scan, and send to Steve, then we would have one complete set of each. But if this works, or I'll just do this tonight and send the
Okay.
backlog of them
Right.
in too. Okay.
Okay, that works. So action items for the next meeting. I don't think we have to do really any digging to find them, because I believe we're going to have Irene from Mass DEP and Laurie Sabal before us again to talk further about the recycling regs.
Yeah.
The other thing that I just want to make sure that we're tracking the timing on, and I know Bridget's on top of it, is Casamana and when their 90-day permit runs out, and when we want to start nudging them for the stuff that we ask them to do.
Uh-huh.
So when does do you know off the top of your head, Bridget, when that, I think the permit didn't go out until maybe a week after the meeting where we voted on it. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think we're due, Heather, correct me if I'm wrong, in maybe late April or beginning of May.
They're coming back in May, and I have that agenda already drafted so I wouldn't forget. when they were coming in. So it's
Okay.
on my computer at work that says it again. I think it's the first meeting in May that they're coming back to
Okay.
see how
All
much
right.
of compliance they are in.
And they did submit
Okay.
a list of the residents, like the 30 days that we asked.
Yep.
I wasn't sure because again, I didn't want to do anything that I'm not supposed to do, but just because there were names and addresses of the people that were living there, I didn't necessarily want to scan it and then email it to everybody. I wasn't sure if I should do that or just send it to Heather.
No, yeah, I would say just send it to Heather,
And then
I don't think need to have
I'll
that.
take all the information out and just, do first names, so that for the public meeting, there's no personal information on there. Is that
Perfect.
okay?
Yeah, that works. Are there telephone numbers or email addresses or anything?
There's like addresses
I would
for
get
some
rid
of
of
them, like types of cars and stuff like that. So I just don't want any personal stuff that, to
Right,
get out
right.
there. So I'll just,
Yeah.
I'll send the original to Heather, so it's on file, but then I'll just break it down by, maybe, first name, last initial or something. And then the room number.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can scrub out anything else that looks like too close to an identifier. That's
Well, you know
fine.
what I might do? I just thought, I'll make copies and then, white out everything except the room number and the length of stay and the name, like the first name or something.
That's fine too. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we can just, for discussion, we can refer to them by unit number. if we
Yes.
need to,
Yep.
So that works.
Yep.
That would
Okay,
work, yeah.
great. Anything else?
Nope.
No? Amazing. I guess we're going to finish on time despite our somewhat rocky start.
Okay.
Anyone feel in the mood to make an adjournment motion?
Go ahead, Steve. We don't hear from you enough.
I did it last May. I'll second your motion.
Yeah, you got to do a little penance here, Trish. You were late.
All right, I make a motion to adjourn the March 22nd Board of Health meeting.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.